Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of 33%. I'm Ruff, and this is my second video today. Usually I do these pretty quick. I really enjoy them. I guess I was kind of stumbling over myself in the last one. It's because this one I'm really nervous about. So today's 29th April, and tomorrow is the 30th. A year ago today, I was out of town working, and I told my sister before I left that I needed help. I needed to go to rehab. I drank a lot. I was a pretty heavy drinker. I say bad drinker, but I was never violent or anything. I just wasted a lot of money and a lot of time, hurt a lot of people, emotionally. And anyways, tomorrow will be a year that I will have been sober. And I'm going to talk more about that. And I'm also going to talk about the Iron Man series. I think it was 9 issues. Let me look again. 120 to 128, so it was 9 issues. And it's I couldn't, I've got this cover somewhere, but I didn't really want to dig through it. No, it's Iron Man, Demon in a Bottle. And I'm not going to review the whole, all the villains he fought and all that. I'm just going to kind of go over an overview of what he was dealing with. So what happens is it starts off, Tony Stark's sitting on a plane, and he's been drinking. The waitress like, "You sure you've had enough?" He'd had 3 or 4. He's like, "Yeah, I can take a couple more," and he thinks to himself, "Well, I'm drinking for 2 people," because he's got this duality thing. He's Tony Stark and he's Iron Man. He's at this point in the comics, I'm pretty sure his identity's still secret. It's not, everybody didn't know Tony Stark was Iron Man. So he's living a double life. And anyways, he's drinking on the plane, and like a tank or something. I think a tank. Somebody throws a tank and hits the plane. Yeah, they throw a tank and they hit the plane. Plane crashes. Tony changes into a suit. It's the normal stuff happening in the comic book, and that's not really what I'm talking about. What I want to talk about is the drinking and how his drinking gets so out of control that it becomes a real problem, and which had been a real problem, but he's confronted about it. Stark gets the tank thing. They figure that out, and then he's got to go to I think it was a UN meeting, best I can remember, and he talks to he ends up shooting a foreign dignitary and killing him. This whole time he's drinking. He's hammered drunk. He kills him on accident, which it turns out his suit's malfunctioning. He almost drowns after the plane crash thing because Hammer has hacked his suit somehow, and they're doing stuff, messing with him. But he keeps trying it, and he can't figure out what's going on because he takes it home. He runs all these diagnostic tests, and nothing's showing up. Nothing's wrong with it. So, anyways, the guy gets killed. Then the Avengers call him, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have to have you step down." And he starts drinking more because that's what you do. And he gets in a fight with Jarvis, hollers at him, talks to him real bad. Jarvis tenders a resignation. He's like, "I'm just turning this in." And the whole story, there's these undertones going back and forth. Like earlier in one of the earlier issues of this run, he's joking. Somebody asks him if he don't think it's too early to drink. He's like, "Oh no, it's," makes a joke about it. Then later he's by himself in his office, and he's making these reasons. He's so far in his addiction, he's lying to himself to facilitate his addiction, because he usually wouldn't do this, but it's been a rough day, or this has happened, or that's happening. It's a reason to go back into the bottle. It all culminates when his girlfriend, me see if I can find her name right here. Beth. And I think Beth knows that he's Iron Man too. She's one of the few people. She tells him about her husband, Alex, who became addicted to drugs to deal with his stress and insecurities. And she ended their relationship, and it eventually killed him. And she admits she was younger and didn't try to understand his insecurities, but now she's grown and will not abandon Stark like she abandoned Alex. She tells Stark he's becoming his worst enemy and he must open up to and let his friends help him. Otherwise, he'll keep drinking and drinking until it kills him. Stark admits to his drinking problem and accepts Beth's offer to help him to quit drinking and help him through withdrawal. He then apologizes and renews his working relationship with Jarvis. In that, he apologized to Jarvis. He finds out Jarvis's mother's sick, and he offers to pay the medical bills. It turns out Jarvis has sold his 2 shares of Stark Industries. I don't know if it was his only 2, but it was the 2 that was keeping S.H.I.E.L.D. from taking over, having the controlling interest. And he sold them, so it creates further friction with Tony, stuff that he's going to have to deal with down the road because he's trying to maintain control. And it ends with him optimistic about the future and conquering his alcoholism and determined to retrieve the stocks and maintain control over his company. As I said, a year ago, and that wasn't the day I went to rehab. That was the last day I was drinking, because I called Kevin in the morning. I got mad, and it wasn't in the morning. It was late at night. I got mad down there and quit, and Kevin come got me and brought me home, which is an 8-hour drive from where I was at. And I come home to an intervention, which with my family and Kevin was like a brother. And we, figured out the logistics of all of it. And 2 days later, I was in Vancouver, Mississippi. And to put a timeline with all this, I'm sure most of y'all knew that I had a drinking problem. But a lot of y'all only know me through Facebook and only knew me from time at Facebook. And there's these pictures, like, there's one popped up today. It's me sitting at a bar looking in the mirror, and Brian's beside me. This is the first time I got to work with Brian in a long time. And it's a picture of us. And then the next picture the next day when I seen it, I remembered it. It's me in my shorts without a shirt on, like, just destroyed drunk in a hotel room. And that's been a year ago tomorrow. And so I went to rehab. It was in Vancouver, Mississippi. The name of it was Home of Grace. And going into it, it was a religious facility. I knew it was a religious facility, faith-based program. It's not based on 12 steps. They do have a 12-step program called Celebrate Recovery that they encourage you to go to, but it's not part of the program. Like it's work. It can be worked into it, but it's like when you leave, you need support and stuff to do this. So I went, and I'm not the most, especially then, I was not the most friendly person. And I wasn't hateful, but I wouldn't go out of my way to, make friends with people or nothing. And this is a campus with 120 men in Mississippi, down towards Biloxi. And my first roommate was Shandy, which he's a friend on Facebook. And I was a big buddy with him. I like Shandy a lot. And there's a couple other guys, but I didn't really fit in with them. I didn't feel like, I was older. And there's this other guy named Alex Brewer that lived across the thing in Building 8, which was beside the store. And he actually, Justin Staples, who talked to me first. And Justin was from Coleman. And talked to him. He was long-haired, had a beard, so we was buddies. With him, I was another long-haired, bearded guy from North Alabama, because North Alabama's different than the rest of Alabama. And he, invited me, come over and hang out. They all play guitar and stuff, which I can't play, but I love music. I went over and hung out with them a few times, and they're like, hey, one of them was graduating. I think one of the guys in the room, I think it was Josh, and asked me if I want to move in. Well, moving's a big deal here, because everything everything's really controlled. You have a real schedule you follow. And anyways, we talked it out with the guy over that, and he said I could moved in with Justin and Alex. It was just us for a long time, and like they become brothers. We spent all our time together. He went to church every day except for Wednesday. He went twice on Sunday, and I wouldn't. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I didn't hate the place, but there were they had different views about stuff, and I'm not down on them at all, because it's done great things for me being down there. But there was stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with. But you don't have to agree with everything. Whatever works for you, you gotta make it work. And going down there, I'm not like, I don't go to church every Sunday or nothing. I did get to go quite a bit, but I'm Catholic and it's a Protestant rehab. That's a whole other story that most of you will probably never hear, because there's other people involved in it. I don't know how they feel about it. But anyways, I went down there, and we, me and Justin, Alex, great buddies, and had as much fun as you can have in rehab. We had homework, and we had classes, and we had work call where we had to go work. But in between that, it was a lot of time sitting around talking and sharing your stories with somebody and I'm not talking about sharing more stories at all, because I don't know. I used to do it a lot, but I didn't consider them more stories. It was just stuff I'd done. It was I guess I don't know, a talking point at the time. I thought it was something to be proud of. A lot of my views and stuff, it's changed drastically. Like one of Isbell's songs. I'll probably quote a lot of songs in this too, because that's something that helps me deal with it. But one of Isbell's songs, he says, I used to want to be a real man. I don't know what that even means. What, because in my fractured psyche, I thought all I was doing was manly and being a man. And like I said, I was never. I messed up a lot of relationships, and I done stuff that bothers me still, and probably always will. And you don't always get the closure you want, because it's not about you. All you can do is clean your side of the street, and show you've changed and you've done better. And sometimes you've done too much damage. It worked out well for Tony. He went on to do great things and had his alcoholism in check. Anyways, back to down there. We stayed down there. Then I stayed for third phase. Alex stayed for third phase as well. Alex was 2 weeks ahead of me. Justin was 1 week ahead of me, and then it was me. And Alex graduated, went to third phase. Justin left, and I was there. Then I went to third phase. Third phase is a little different. It's a lot more work oriented, and you get to leave supervised. This whole time we didn't have news or TV. We didn't have any of that. They showed Christian movies, and there was different classes, like extra classes you could take after class hours, that they showed movies, and there's people that come talked and stuff. I mean, there was stuff to do, but it wasn't, we wasn't watching Family Guy or nothing like that. So we moved to third phase. We actually did have a DVD player, and some of us had movies that we watched. And the other group, the guys over there, Ben, one of my best friends now, still too, Ben Burrow. And anyways, I left. In all, I was down there 5.5 months, and I come back, and it was hard adjusting to being back at first, because I was used to this schedule and not being like I couldn't. I remember going to Walmart with my sister one of the weekends that I got out, and it sounds like I was in jail, but when I went to a convention in Mississippi, and I went to Walmart with her, and I was just walking around like it was something, because it was so different to me, different than what I was used to. Because like I said, when you was in third phase, you could leave and you could go do some stuff, but you couldn't. You didn't have free reign. You know, you had to. You could go get stuff to eat if you was already going. And we went out once a week to celebrate recovery. We went out on Sunday morning to a different church. When we got to leave some, and then we got to go cut grass at the women's campus sometimes, and just different stuff like that. But coming back is a real hard adjustment. I went right back to work. I've been painting, and I really wanted to do that to show, that I wasn't still such a screw up. That I'd got my stuff together, because those people put up with a lot more out of me than they should have. And everybody had a lot of people, I guess, suffer in silence, dealing with it. And I hope this doesn't sound like I'm not a victim. I'm not trying to make excuses for myself or anything like that. I've done all this, and I've done it to myself. And I hope if this video helps somebody, I hope somebody gets something out of it. And because it is hard, and it's not, and you do it to yourself, but you get in that trap. Just that's all you want to do is drink and drink and drink, and I drank a lot. That was my answer to everything. If I had any kind of problem with anything or anybody, something went wrong through the day, or I had a good day or anything, I just drank. It was what I done. And it's not something that, I don't know, I'm still real conflicted about it, because I've been sober a year, and that's great compared to what I have been through. And I'm only one decision away from being back there, so that's a constant thing. But it's also like, I'm proud of something that most people don't even have to deal with. And that's in one of the trucker songs, The Weakest Man. It's Mike Cooley's song. It's leaving you won't be any harder. Leaving you won't be any harder than walking out the door and leaving town. But I'll be leaving knowing that I'm not any stronger than the weakest man that ever turned you down. And I thought for a long time that song was about a woman. It's not. The whole song is about liquor. It's about drinking, not necessarily liquor, but the whole song is about drinking and the relationship and how toxic it is. And it's I don't know, it's cathartic listening to that. And I'm more nervous with this. I don't know about cathartic, but I'm trying, trying to do better. And I feel like I am. I mean, I've done a lot better than I used to do just by not drinking. But it's it'll be a year, just a couple days. And it hadn't been an easy year. I think it was the 9th of January was the first real big gut punch for me. I had to go to probation in Savannah for something that happened a while back, where it's a long story. I got arrested for a DUI, but I actually wasn't drinking, and hired a lawyer and stuff, and I got out of it, but they put me on probation. And anyways, I was getting up, and Brian, my buddy, then I said, I hadn't seen him in forever, where we're sitting at the bar on this day a year ago. Brian called me, and he said, Matt's dead. And Matt Wilcoxon was one of my best friends, and a real big supporter. When I was down there in rehab, there was a lot of people that wrote letters and stuff. Matt, I called and talked to a lot, just to talk to somebody, because it was so nice to hear from somebody at home. It's a rough one. And while I was down there, I had 2 deaths in the family. I had a great uncle die the first 2 weeks I was down there, and I had my uncle passed away. I buried him, I think, the 4th of July, 3rd of July. Anyways, he passed away. I come home for that and went back down there. But Matt, when I come back to work, they put me with Matt working at at Wise. I got to hang out with him a lot, and he was just, man, he's such a good guy. The whole time I was down there was a lot of people that passed away. You know, you hear about the opioid crisis and all that, but it doesn't really affect a lot of people. I'm not that it don't affect a lot of people. That's not what I meant. But it don't hit home as much to a lot of people, and it never did to me. Like when I was younger, I had some issues with drugs, but it was never that bad. And you know, none of the people real close to me ever OD'd or anything. But down there, it was like every week somebody else fails. And there were several people that I spent time with. Anyways, Matt died is in January, and it wasn't the 9th. It ain't right. It was the end of the month. I try to forget. Anyways, the next month, Alex called me. It was like the 26th, I think, February, and Justin died, my roommate. And I've got a box of all the letters and stuff, and you get stuff while you're in rehab, like people leave you stuff. When I come home, I wanted a twin bed because I'd slept in a twin bed so long. I just felt like I slept so good down there because by the time I left, I had a nice mattress and I had toppers and stuff. And Justin, when he left me a topper. And I've got other stuff like where we screwing around in class writing letters and stuff. And he passed away. And he had a wife and 2 kids. Matt had a wife, 2 little girls. And it's hard. But you know, life's hard. It's hard anyways. Just, if you're doing everything right, life's difficult. So, the drinking or the partying just complicates it, or it did for me. And I don't know. There's been a lot of, like I said, I wanted to make this video because it's been a year, and I might not even upload it. Is a hard video for me to make, especially without breaking down, because there's so much happened. But it is. So much happens to everybody, you know. But if anybody is struggling with addiction or suicidal thoughts or anything like that, call somebody, man. There's somebody out there. There's somebody in your life that you can call, always. And you may not realize at the time, but you mean a lot to a lot of people. Probably more than you realize. And you can't... One of the other big traps that people fall in is you can't just run out and fix everything. All that takes time, because it took time to get it in the situation you got it in before you decided to fix it. You know, I hope a lot of my stuff works out, but it might not. And, you know, I'm aware of that. But, you know, the story ain't over. You get to wake up tomorrow and do more. Try. Just keep trying. Anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If I even uploaded, it was a difficult one for me to make. I appreciate any of you taking the time. It'll be probably 25 minutes. That's a long video. Anyways, thank y'all. And you know, if y'all need to talk to me, text or call me, or get me on Facebook. If you want to call me, I'll give you my number. It's no problem. Especially if you're in a place like that, because it's, you know, I wish Justin had called me. I wish a lot of those guys would. Anyways, I hope all y'all have a great day, and thank y'all again for watching.